Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back. Welcome back to another video. This is your boy here, Zay Woof. Um, Breaking news today. We have a new coaching hire in Brooklyn, and it is Steve Nash. Whew. Now, let me break down what I like about it. Right. So, what I do like about it is I want to start off with good news first. The good things I like about it is obviously you have a two-time MVP. You have a guy that was a part of an entire change of an era of basketball. Um, so I think that's very important. The way basketball is played now is very, very. It looks to it looks a lot like how Steve Nash ran his team in the mid to late 2000s in Phoenix. So you look at the flow of the game, the funness in the game, the freeness of the game. That has been in basketball before, obviously in a lot of different sections, and even during that time, there are teams that will spread the floor and play fast, etc., etc. But the Suns um, are given credit for it, at least in modern times. And you have the dude that was the anchor of that, a two-time MVP during the reign of Shaq, Kobe, Tim Duncan, a little piece of LeBron in there. A lot of stuff was going on that Steve Nash was winning MVPs, two of them. So that says a lot. That means a lot. Also, he's been working at doing a lot of player development with different organizations. So he didn't play. I think he played for maybe three or four teams. I know Dallas, Phoenix, and the Lakers, which don't count, but it count. Um, he was up in Golden State. I believe he got to Golden State 2015 or 16. So a lot of some of the things Kerr brought in when it came to refreshing an entire franchise. Refreshing a franchise, but still keeping it in its winning mindset. It's You haven't really seen it done a lot. This is like somebody. I would say it's very akin to Phil Jackson. The Bulls were going to the playoffs before Phil Jackson. They were going to the first round. I believe Jordan got knocked out in the first round a couple times. I believe he got knocked out in the second round. But when Phil Jackson got there, it just went to another level. And with Steve Kerr got there, things just went to another level. With Mark Jackson the year before, they went to the playoffs 2 years before. They lost to the Spurs in one. That was after Steph had the big breakout series against the Nuggets. And he had a good game against the Spurs in game one, I believe. But they lost against the Spurs. And I think the next year they lost against the Clippers. Steph had another crazy year. Um, but when Mark Jackson got fired, Steve Kerr just kind of dropped in. And if I don't know if many of you remember, Steve Kerr was actually on the cusp of actually choosing the Knicks job. I believe he said this. I'm pretty sure I saw this with him in the interview. He was really close to him choosing the Knicks job. Um, but I think just maybe like one or two discerning factors is what got him to Golden State. Maybe it was the need for a fresh start. Maybe it was a fresher franchise than the Knicks is. The Knicks is like taking over an old warship. Like, this is the warship that won the Panama War. I don't know. They was in the Gulf War. It wasn't the Gulf War. It was one of the quick wars that was a couple days. The fucking Gulf War was like 3 days. Well, the Knicks was the battleship that helped win that. And by that I mean 1973 is the last time they won a championship. So I would assume I would understand with him not wanting to take on unnecessary pressure that is the Knicks' job. And I would say with Steve Nash, this would be the same type of deal. He's going into a Nets team that has been successful in the playoffs. They put up a good fight last year against Philly, I believe. They had a good matchup against Philly. They were doing good this year. They have Kyrie Irving. They have Kevin Durant. They have Spencer Dinwiddie. Um, Mr. Roth Ira himself. They have the Karis LeVert, the Jared Allen. They have DeAndre Jordan. So I'm pretty sure when it comes to a guy like Nash, who is a big players coach guy, um, never really heard anything bad from his teammates. I know he was very, very crucial in helping recruit KD along with Jerry West to Golden State in the first place. So I'm sure that's where their relationship kind of stems from. On top of whatever personal things they may have, have talked to or gone through while in their time with Golden State. I mean, they win two championships there. So the one thing I don't want to come across this is I don't want to leave out is that obviously there is a huge problem with the firing, the very quick firing of coaches in general, and especially minority coaches, and the hiring of minority coaches. We already know this deal. I'm not gonna go over everything. But what I would say is that using Mark Jackson is not the players coach way to not the players coach. Using Mark Jackson is not the way to go as far as this. If you want to say, well, Tyronn Lue is still coaching for the Clippers, he's an assistant. So it's not like he can just take a job right now. If you had like, if Fizdale just got fired multiple times, uh, when it comes to the situations of the hiring, and it comes to Mark Jackson, it is an absolute fact that the NBA, NFL, and most professional sports leagues do a shit job of hiring black coaches. This is not one of those things. Um, Steve Nash is a very accomplished guy on and off the court. And by off the court, I want to talk about his off the court NBA stuff. You know, not on his personal stuff, whatever. I know he does a lot of MLS stuff as well. Um, but it's off the court, behind the scenes, his basketball has been pretty immaculate, and also him on the court, two-time MVP, has been immaculate. So I think it's a good coaching hire. I don't like. I disagree within the circumstances. Maybe him and KD being friends for 2 years, and all of a sudden let's bring in Steve Nash. I think that only works with a guy with the accomplishments of Steve Nash. But I think somebody is going to try that same approach, and they're not going to find somebody as good as Steve Nash or Steve Kerr. I think that may be an upcoming problem, but it certainly won't be an upcoming problem for the Nets, and won't be an upcoming problem for the Warriors because they already have their coaches. So um, we'll see what next year brings us with the Brooklyn Nets. I mean, they have a lot of shooters to space the floor. I'm not sure how they're going to handle DeAndre Jordan and did I call him something else besides DeAndre Jordan earlier? I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna do something besides DeAndre Jordan and Jared Allen, but good to spread offenses and him helping with the additional player development does not hurt. I like the Steve Nash hire.